What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Before I crack on with today's transfer update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe. Rolling out daily Manchester City transfer news for you guys to enjoy. So if you haven't already, do make sure you have subscribed. Now less than 400 subscribers away from my goal of 25,000 subscribers, and I will keep you guys up to date first and fast on YouTube every single day with the latest Manchester City transfer news. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. Once more, like goal 500 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts of what you make of these transfers in the comments below. And lastly, this video is sponsored and brought to you by OneFootball. This video is brought to you by OneFootball. If you want to download the OneFootball app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of my description, which will take you forward to where you can download this app. The OneFootball app is extremely useful if you are a huge football fan just like me. It provides you with the latest footballing news, transfer news, and the latest videos as well. It is one source of information of where I get my transfer news from. It also allows you to see the latest scores with what's happening in the footballing world. If you just click on a game, including any Manchester City game, it will not only bring up the latest team news, but it will also bring up the latest statistics and keep you up to date with everything happening in that game. If you want to download this app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of the description to stay up to date. Thank you very much to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. If you want to go and check that out, then the link is in the description. Let's crack on then with this video. We're going to start off first with the outs, and we've got an update on Gabriel Jesus. Now, Matt Hughes at the Daily Mail says that Arsenal, they are still yet to meet Manchester City's price requirement when it comes to Gabriel Jesus. Manchester City's stance is pretty clear. They want £50 million for Gabriel Jesus for him to leave the club this summer. We know there's interest from various different clubs, not just in the Premier League, but also around Europe as well. I was reporting yesterday AC Milan are the latest team to declare their interest in Gabriel Jesus. Real Madrid are another team that's expressed their interest in Jesus as well. Arsenal, they're the team that are most serious about signing Gabby Jesus. So they're wanting to firm up their interest. They're wanting to get everything sorted for that transfer so they can beat off the competition. Arsenal apparently willing to spend around £40 million, not Manchester City's £50 million that they're asking for, and that's what the hold-up is here. Now, what Manchester City ideally would want in this situation is for another club to be willing to spend £50 million. It means then Arsenal, if they want to sign Jesus, will have to do one of two things. That's either match the bid of the club that's willing to pay £50 million, or they walk away. Arsenal want Jesus, Manchester City holding firm for £50 million. Arsenal want to try and sign Gabriel Jesus, but they want to spend £40 million. There's a £10 million price difference. We could meet them halfway. You could look at £45 million, even a £40 million plus £5 million in add-ons. However, if I'm Manchester City, the selling club, Jesus is Premier League proven. £50 million to me does sound about right for Jesus to leave Manchester City, and I would hold firm. City do still want Jesus on a new contract, and in an ideal world, he would sign that new contract. I think Jesus is just concerned about playing time, because he knows that with the arrival of Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland, that he's not going to get that much playing time at Manchester City unless he is to go out wide, which maybe he doesn't think that is his strongest position. Would he be willing to wait and see about the future of Raheem Sterling if he was to leave, because that might give an opening potentially on the left hand side for Jesus, but at the moment it doesn't look like it is. I think Jesus just wants his future sorting soon, and I am expecting more solid clarification on that as we go into next week. So moving on to the ins instead. First up, we've got the latest on Erling Haaland and what I was reporting on yesterday. So obviously he's already said his farewells to Borussia Dortmund. He's gone onto Twitter and said soon he is going to be taken into his father's footsteps, Alfie Haaland, that played for Manchester City, and Erling's going to be following in his footsteps and signing for Manchester City as well. That tweet was hinting potentially at him wearing the number 15 shirt as well, and this was Erling just announcing his own transfer to Manchester City. City did reply to that tweet saying soon. I was wondering if that was the announcement from City was going to come last night, because it is very Manchester City to announce a transfer at 8 PM BST here. That hasn't happened, so the next question is that going to come this weekend? I am not expecting that to happen this weekend. City normally do it on a working day, so the next day would be Monday potentially for that transfer to be announced. It does look like, though, at some point in the next 7 days, City will make that completely official, even though Haaland's already done that himself. The club will do that themselves as well to make that official as well. So again, just a frustrating waiting game. I really don't know what the hold up is here. Everything is in place, that even the players announced it yet. City still haven't. Maybe they're going to do that this weekend, maybe not. We'll see. Like I said, normally, and that's near enough every single transfer, City tend to announce them in a working day rather than at the weekend. I presume that's down to staffing and things like that, so we'll just have to wait. So, moving on to the final story instead, and we've got a very interesting update on Kalvin Phillips of Leeds United. Now, Matt Hughes at the Daily Mail has also been speaking about this and said that Manchester City, they are prepared to pay up to £60 million to sign Kalvin Phillips this summer. So before we speak about the price, I just want to speak about Kalvin Phillips and what he potentially would bring to Manchester City and what the pros and cons are of that transfers and what we know already. So we know that Manchester City like to sign homegrown English players. We did that last summer with the signing of Jack Grealish. We know that Manchester City, in an ideal world, would like to keep the prices down. City can be very stubborn when it comes to trying to sign players, so much so that we like to go towards release clauses. We've done it with Erling Haaland, we've done it with Jack Grealish last summer, we've done it with Merritt Laporte, just to name just a few players that we like to go to release clauses. Now, Kalvin Phillips, as far as I'm aware, does not have a release clause. It does require Manchester City to negotiate the transfer. Leeds want Kalvin Phillips on a new contract, and the situation is pretty much Kalvin Phillips has a decision to make. Does he want to stay at Leeds United, or does he want to pursue a move away to Manchester City? Is the situation that Kalvin Phillips is facing. He was in the process of getting his new agent in place. I'm not aware right now that he has managed to get that done, but Manchester City are wanting to crank that pressure up, let Leeds United know that we're interested in Phillips, and I'd be very surprised that if this is true, that Manchester City more than likely will be speaking with Kalvin Phillips' entourage to get the personal terms and everything sorted, so they know that what kind of deal they're looking at, what kind of pay they're looking at, and then Kalvin Phillips will sit down with Leeds and say, can they match it? And if Leeds cannot match it, which I'm presuming that they're probably not going to be able to, because Leeds United don't have the income that Manchester City do. They don't have what City can offer in terms of not just a financial package, but Champions League football, the potential of working with Pep Guardiola and working with world-class facilities as well. So it just, yeah, that's all the things that Kalvin Phillips needs to think about when it comes to this transfer. It's very interesting, this one, because it's very reminiscent of the Jack Grealish transfer last summer. However, there isn't a release clause there. Man City were prepared to pay £100 million for Jack Grealish because we had £100 million to spend. Man City have managed to get Erling Haaland on a very good deal, and Man City know that if they have got the finances available to them, they may have a little bit more money to be able to spend, and with the potential outgoings of the likes of Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus, it gives Manchester City quite a healthy transfer kitty to go out there and spend on the squad, and we know we need a Fernandinho replacement. So I'm going to presume that Manchester City, considering we're getting linked with £60 million Kalvin Phillips and £40 million Marc Cucurella, that City have roughly around £100 million in leeway here to be able to spend to bring in a couple of players in them positions of defence and midfield and a left back. And if Kalvin Phillips is the player that they want, then City might be willing just to go that little bit more. Now, it's all about the value of money. What do you value the football player at? Now, Kalvin Phillips is a Premier League proven player. He is homegrown, he is English, and we know that comes with a premium where they tend to put an additional 10, 15, even 20 million pounds on the price tag. And I just feel like that's exactly what's happened here, because to me, Kalvin Phillips, is he a 60 million pound defensive midfielder? And my truthful answer is no, because he's going to be a squad rotated player. He's going to be a squad rotated player because Rodri's going to be playing in defensive midfield for Manchester City. And is Kalvin Phillips as good as Rodri? No. So it's simple as that. So Manchester City is spending a lot of money here for a player that may well be, even more so than what Jack Grealish was last summer, he's going to be sitting on the bench. That is, if we get injuries, then Kalvin Phillips is going to come into the squad. And again, I think this is just something that Kalvin Phillips really needs to think over. Now, the Jack Grealish situation to me is a lot different, because Jack Grealish knows that he's got the quality to come in. There's a gap in Manchester City's wingers there that he can come in and become Manchester City's new left winger. And he knows he can do that, and even more so with the likes of Sterling and Jesus looking like they may well be leaving Manchester City, he can really make that spot his own. Whereas Kalvin Phillips hasn't got that, because we know that Rodri's not leaving Manchester City, we know De Bruyne is not leaving Manchester City, and he's not going to be playing further upfield where Bernardo Silva is, where there's a little bit of a question mark over. So where exactly does Kalvin Phillips slot in? And we're spending a lot of money, like I said, for a player to be a squad rotated player. And I just feel like Manchester City need to have a look around the market to see if there are other players that could help City here. Now, this is all about City wanting to go for homegrown players. Leeds United don't need to sell. Kalvin Phillips has still got, I think he's still got a couple of years left on his contract, and so they don't need to sell. So it's up to Manchester City to make it convincing. And what you would hope from this transfer is Kalvin Phillips would say to Leeds United, I've got this offer from Manchester City, I want to leave, and pretty much request that transfer for him to leave, to force the transfer through. And if that doesn't happen, then I think this transfer could be quite complicated. It certainly looks a little bit more complicated than what it would suggest, but if Man City are willing to spend £60 million, I don't see Leeds United saying no to £60 million. Do I think that reflects his value? No, I don't think he's worth £60 million. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts of this transfer and what you guys think in the comments below. Kalvin Phillips, yay or nay? And for £60 million, are you still yay or nay? Let me know. So there we go, that has been the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. 500 likes is the aim, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to leave your thoughts on what you make of these transfers in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on to be notified immediately for when I do upload. You want to stay up to date, first and fast, every single day with the latest Manchester City transfer news on YouTube. I'm the go-to channel for that, so make sure you have subscribed. Now less than 400 subs away from my goal of 25k subscribers. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below, sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by OneFootball. Link to that is in the description. It's a free app to download. OneFootball will keep you up to date with all the latest football news, as well as the latest scores, results, statistics, live league tables, and all your good footballing needs, as well as all the latest transfer news this summer. It's a highly rated app. It's, in my opinion, the best footballing app out there. They will keep you up to date with all the latest transfer news for Manchester City and all the other clubs from around the world, and it's just one of my many places that I go to get all my information for these transfer videos that I provide to you guys. It's well worth having. Go and get it. Use my link, as it does help to support the future content created here on my channel. It keeps these videos coming for you guys, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.